Until just a few months ago, a lot of people thought Marcus Rashford was on the decline lost, struggling at Manchester United, and that he'd never get his magic back. But now, in Barcelona, he's having one of the best spells of his career, and even his harshest critics can't deny it. Sure, Real Madrid is leading La Liga by 3 points over Barca, and the Catalan club is still fighting to find its footing in the Champions League, nowhere near the dominance they showed last season, but Rashford is still standing out as the player with the most goal involvements on the team. Here's the thing most people don't know, and what almost nobody expected, this comeback even caught the attention of one of English football's biggest legends, Gary Lineker, and what he said about Rashford. It might completely change how the critics think. Today, you're going to find out exactly what Lineker said recently at a global football investment event, but only after we go through Rashford's full journey to this point. Because you really need to understand the depth of this story. For Lineker's words at the end to hit the way they should, it wasn't just about results. It wasn't just about the pressure of a new coach under Hansi Flick. There was something deeper, the concern about balance on the left wing, especially after Barcelona failed to replace Neymar Jr. Dembele? Not really, he spent most of the season dealing with injuries or playing video games. With Dembele gone and Xavi's last season flopping, Laporta had no choice. He had to step Xavi aside and bring in Hansi Flick to restore order in Europe. And the results came. Barcelona dominated Real Madrid, were ruthless in European competitions, and bagged several trophies last season. Still, Flick was worried about the left wing and wanted top-level reinforcement. Rashford isn't Neymar, but his qualities are undeniable, and Flick recognized that right away. After failed attempts to bring in Nico Williams or Luis Diaz, Rashford became the most viable solution, especially considering his recent struggles at Manchester United and his loan spell at Aston Villa. When Marcus Rashford arrived in Barcelona, he didn't waste any time winning over the fans. The English forward, on loan from Manchester United, adapted brilliantly, making an immediate impact both in front of goal and as a playmaker, racking up 6 goals and 9 assists. Sure, he had a few weak spots, but signs of improvement were clear. With many starters sidelined by injury, Rashford became Flick's temporary nightmare solver. Some coaches whispered about his lack of off-the-ball engagement, especially in offensive pressing. And for a meticulous coach like Flick, that was enough to raise doubts even about one of his most consistent players. But what nobody could predict at that moment, Rashford was about to rewrite his own story and not just win over Barca, but also catch the eyes of some of the most respected figures in English football. Rashford has become one of Barcelona's most influential players so far. Take the game against Celta de Vigo. Another tough test was expected. Celta is known for their intensity, rapid transitions, and terrifying ability to exploit open wings. And in the first few minutes, that's exactly what happened. Flick's team looked off balance. Both wings were exposed. The defense was a total mess. And this was the kind of situation where historically Rashford wasn't the go-to solution. At United, his defensive contributions were always debated. Expectations were high, but unanimity, never. But in that moment, something changed. Slowly, Rashford started tracking back, closing spaces, making tackles, intercepting deep in his own half. He delivered one of his most complete performances in a Barcelona shirt, showing not just offensive talent, but a refreshing level of defensive awareness. Especially in the second half, he tracked back tirelessly, covering spaces and supporting Alejandro Balde whenever Celta broke forward. His commitment and top-notch fitness were obvious, and that effort didn't go unnoticed on the bench. It was like he finally understood what Flick wanted, not just an attacker focused on scoring, but an attacker willing to sacrifice for the team's defensive structure. With Rafinha out injured, Rashford stepped into an even bigger spotlight. He's played all 16 matches this season, started 13 of them, and along with Eric Garcia, he's one of the only guys who's been there every single game, and the numbers speak for themselves. La Liga's assist leader with 7, 6 goals scored, 9 assists in all competitions, several of them absolutely crucial. Set-piece specialist, 3 assists from corners, a weapon Barca hadn't used properly in years. These days, you hardly see Barcelona going for those short corners to Lamine anymore, and honestly, most of those never led to anything. But Rashford's long whipped-in corners, those have been creating real danger, and goals. Yeah, Rashford didn't just adapt, he transformed entire phases of Barcelona's game. His wicked deliveries on corners started causing chaos. Lewandowski, Araujo, Koundé, all of them have already taken advantage of his pinpoint accuracy. And even on free kicks, the goal hasn't come yet, but he's already made fans jump out of their seats, like when he smashed one off the post against Girona. Rashford has become the full package. And the craziest part? He looks happy. The atmosphere at FC Barcelona is positive, contagious, and super harmonious. That's part of why Lewandowski isn't planning on leaving anytime soon. Click the description to watch the full video later. Meanwhile, across the continent, England head coach Thomas Tuchel was keeping an eye on everything. He already knew Rashford well. He knew the talent, but also the inconsistency that defined his last few years at Manchester United. But when it came time to make the call-up, there was zero doubt. Tuchel said he has to prove his value at Barcelona every 3 days, which is good for us. He also needs to prove his value in our training sessions. That's normal, and it's the best thing that can happen if he wants to show his best. Tuchel saw what a lot of people were already noticing. Rashford was locked in. And Tuchel didn't care about speculation, future transfers, clauses, rumours, none of it. For him, the priority was simple. No, all of that is just speculation, very theoretical. It's only November. He's in good form. There's still a long way to go. I'm not thinking about next summer or the end of the season. We'll deal with that when the time comes. Right now, he's doing well. He's competitive, that's why he's here, and he needs to keep proving it in the upcoming games. He's with the England squad because he deserves it. Back in Manchester, the local press reported that manager Ruben Amorim wasn't interested in bringing Rashford back. The board wasn't pushing for it either. To them, Rashford was a problem. To Barca, he was the solution. And to Rashford himself, a rebirth. That equation opened the door for a cheaper deal, a reduced clause, an agreement that would benefit everyone. Except maybe Manchester United. Barca knows it. Rashford knows it. And Deco, the sporting director, is already studying the possibilities. And everything suggests that next summer, the club will try to secure him permanently. The opposite of what earlier reports claimed, saying Barca wasn't sure. The truth is, Rashford rediscovered something he'd lost over the past few years, the joy of playing. In Catalonia, he started smiling again, taking risks, improvising, creating, believing in himself. And most importantly, he felt Barcelona believed in him too. For a player who's carried unrealistic expectations, insane criticism, and unbearable pressure, that feeling changes everything. The Rashford the world is seeing today isn't just a fast, technical, decisive attacker. He's a player who's mentally free. A player who understands his role in a collective system. Who accepts responsibility. Who works off the ball. Who creates without fear. Who steps up when needed. A player who's matured. And that's where Gary Lineker comes in. Gary isn't just a former England striker. He's one of the biggest legends in British football. A former Barcelona forward. One of England's greatest goal scorers ever. One of the most respected analysts in the world. Lineker knows exactly what it means to be a striker at Barcelona. He knows what it's like to play under pressure. He knows what it means to represent England. And that's why his words carry weight, a lot of weight. So when he talks about Rashford, the world listens. After following Barca's season up close, Lineker broke the team down in detail. He praised Lamine Yamal, called him exceptional.
Barça, claro, fue una época extraordinaria para mí. Es un club que tengo mucho.
It's been an incredible spell. Barcelona is a club I've always admired and cared for deeply. It's something really special to me. Flick's team is genuinely good. They play exciting football, the kind of football we fans love watching. Lots of goals, super fun games. They've got amazing players, especially Lamine Yamal, who has an exceptional future ahead of him. And for English fans, there's an extra reason to watch, Marcus Rashford.
¿Está sorprendiendo Rashford en el Barça o no?
He's there, and he's playing at a fantastic level. Am I surprised? Not really. I've known him for years. He's the kind of player who, when he's happy and scoring, can reach an absolutely exceptional level. And at Barca, things have been smooth for him so far. He's been getting minutes, and I've seen him put in some great performances. But here's the real shocker. Not just that Lineker praised Rashford. He said Rashford is happy. And that matters. A lot. But here's the real shocker. Not just that Lineker praised Rashford. He said Rashford is happy. And that matters. A lot. Because at United he wasn't happy, and you could see it in everything, the numbers, the energy, the confidence. And for a player whose biggest battles were never physical or technical, but emotional, this is huge. Lineker is basically telling the world that Rashford has found in Barcelona what he never had at Manchester United. Peace, confidence, joy, identity. He's saying Rashford is finally in the perfect environment to hit his ceiling. Rashford isn't just playing well, he's finally happy, and that's why he's becoming exceptional. So what does this mean for Barcelona, for England, for Rashford himself? It means we're witnessing the rebirth of a player who finally found a place where he can just be himself. It means Barca might have landed not just a useful piece, but the face of a new era. A quiet leader. And if the club decides to activate that buy option, whether it's $30 million or even less, they might be securing one of the best value-for-money signings of the decade. Rashford has been reborn. And if Gary Lineker, someone who deeply understands his journey, says he's happy, then something truly special is happening. This is just the beginning. Because a happy Rashford is an unstoppable Rashford. So now I'm curious, what's your opinion on Lineker's reaction to Rashford?